Squad 1 for the good guys. Rangers, power up your crystals. Power up. Do it. We need Megazord power now.
Megazord sequence has been initiated. Megazord activated.
Hey there everybody, this is Sai from Collection Gattai. Today I'll be looking at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Megazord. I'll be going over each individual Zord with all their features and details. Stay tuned and enjoy. Alright, so a little backstory on Power Rangers. When I was a kid, I used to watch Power Rangers a lot, and when I wanted the toys, all I could afford were the little action figures. I could never afford a Megazord, and my family didn't have that much money, so we couldn't afford them either. So you were either rich or you were lucky when you had one of these things. Now, since it's the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers, Bandai is actually re-releasing some of the Megazords. And just so happens that Toys R Us is actually carrying the Legacy Megazord. So when I saw it, I just had to get it. So we'll jump right into it. We'll look at the first Zord, which was the Blue Ranger Zord, the Triceratops. This guy is awesome. I love him so much. The black and the blue are my favorite Power Rangers. So looking at this guy, you got the nice red eye. Articulation in the horns. That's about all you're going to get out of him though. Just that and that. Gold sticker here. You have to apply this yourself. A lot of the Megazords actually have a lot of applications. This here and this here are a sticker. Nice detail in the body itself. I really like it. And I especially like the detail in the treads. The treads were brilliant. You got little feet here. Most of him runs around. These little bumps here are supposed to be wheels, but they actually do not roll. They're just molded into the plastic. Sticker here in the back of the spine. Doesn't cover up anything. Some of them do though. Pretty nice though. I like him a lot. Die-cast metal tail. If you watched the show or not, the tail was actually supposed to attach to the feet of the Tyrannosaurus. So when they came sliding together, there was this lightning shock, and they would come together like a magnet. But in the transformation in the toy, this actually just flips up into here. That's pretty much all it is for him. Mouth doesn't move, unfortunately, which is a shame. In his segment in the show, he would raise his head and open his mouth, but I guess they didn't give us that. So that's the Blue Megazord. Next up, we have the Yellow Zord, which is the Sabertooth. Articulation here in the tusks. Not really much going on there. This here, right there, that is a sticker that is self-applied. As you can see, it's slightly crooked. I'm not that great at applying stickers. Got the kind of a fur-ish kind of detail here. Love the detail in the legs. This wheel here doesn't actually move. It's connected to the leg itself. You can get some posability out of the legs, but they're mostly just for transformation. You can get them all the way. They ratchet up here, and they also ratchet here, and that's it. It just kind of sits here. Stickers here, and also here, and a sticker in the spine. All self-applied. Back legs, also unmovable wheels, but great detail in the legs. These pose slightly, but it looks awkward, mostly only because it's for transformation. Die-cast metal tail again, just like the Triceratops. Unfortunately, this guy's mouth doesn't open either, even though he opens it in the show. Either way, I'd have to say this is probably my third favorite out of the set. And yeah, that's a Sabretooth. Alright, next up we have the Pink Ranger's Pterodactyl. You can see the feet are actually, these are the guns that you'll see later. Stickers here, here, and here are self-applied. This sticker here is pre-applied. A little bit of pink stripe here, and PVC wings. Don't really like these all that much. They're really flimsy and they're really thin. They seem so easy to break. That's what I don't like about it. The head is actually die-cast metal, which is actually fantastic. Although, a little bit of problem, you can kind of see it, but a little bit of paint chipped off, which is a shame. Detail inside the body, not all that important, nothing really going on in there. Overall, this guy was not my favorite whatsoever. I was actually pretty disappointed with this one. It's only serving as a chest piece, and that's about it, where it just flies onto the chest. And I don't know, but a lot of the Zords in the later series actually didn't have such a useless role in the combination, other than, you know, no one has ever been just a chest piece. That's what I don't like. I don't know, you can correct me on that though. We got articulation here in the neck, all the way to the front, all the way down, and all the way back. So you can sit like that. The wings can also articulate, but only to the inside for transformation purposes only. The one thing I didn't like about this Zord, in particular, not necessarily the toy version, but in entirety, was the fact that this is the only pink you see on this bleeding Zord. Why? It's the Pink Ranger. Most other pink Zords have had the same problem. They're mostly white or black, and then you got a little bit of pink striping everywhere. I don't like that at all, but this guy kind of started the trend, so I wasn't really happy about that. A little problem though with this sticker, you might see how you can kind of see the dent. Unfortunately, the screws, or the section here that latches on, the sticker can actually push into it and make a little dent. Wasn't too happy about that. Either way, that's the Pterodactyl. And my favorite Zord, the Mastodon. This guy was definitely my favorite. PVC tusks and trunk. All these stickers you see here are pre-applied. He's a really big block, and I love it. He looks great, and he's got a nice weight to him. Good detail in the face. Nice big shoulders. These stickers are pre-applied, and then this one is applied afterwards. These feet right here do not move whatsoever. They're stationary. These, however, have some movement, but that's for transformation purposes only. You can't bring them forward at all. That's about as much as you're going to get, that little tab right there. Now these arms can be interchanged. You can switch these, but doesn't really matter. You're always going to have this empty slot here. Die-cast metal on the inside if you can't really see it. This here is die-cast. Overall, I love this guy the most. He's the most complicated in transformation-wise. And I think the more complicated the transformation, the better the toy has in functionality. So that's the Mastodon. Unfortunately, the only thing I didn't really like was this couldn't bend or even ratchet, like at these points right here. Like, they even have points where he could ratchet, because in the show he actually lifts his trunk and all this mist comes out, but didn't get that. You know, he's still great the way he is. And that is the Mastodon. Alright, and last, but definitely not least, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Red Ranger Zord. I love the fact that he has blue eyes. That was fantastic. He's got a sticker here in his mouth that you apply, like a kind of like a rocket, or he shoots flames, I think. So I think that's where the flames come from. A little bit of detail here under the screw for the joint in his mouth. Articulation in the mouth, as well as the lower jaw, to the point where you can actually make him look straight up. These stickers here are applied by yourself. Ratcheting arms, 90 degrees, not that big. This sticker here is applied, and as well as these die-cast metal legs. I like the detail here in the legs, is really nice. I love this detail. It's kind of like shocks or pistons. Fantastic detail in the tail here, tail section. These aren't stickers. This is actually paint. And then you got these kind of vents here in his back. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the Tyrannosaurus actually stands upright like so. Because back in the day, they actually thought Tyrannosaurus Rex actually walked like this, when actually he walks like that, and his legs come down, and his head kind of sits up like that. You can technically do that, but the legs have a ratchet in it, and the tail actually gets in the way sometimes. It's a really tough ratchet. So yeah, that's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get that, that, and that, but then you're pushing here on the tail, and you don't want to do that. Either way, he looks great. I really love this guy. He was a fantastic addition. And that's the T-Rex. Now, when the Power Rangers get to the point where they need to defeat a giant monster when Rita activates her magic on it and it becomes giant, they assemble the Zords all together. Now, the Zords don't just jump together and they become the Zord we all truly love. They actually need to go through a sequence called Tank Mode. And that's when they all kind of slide together over a large plateau and they become more of an artillery. So, to get the Zords into tank mode, you need to do thus. First, we're going to take the T-Rex. We're going to fold up his arms. Take the legs and fold them into the thighs. I'm going to fold it forward and fold the tail up like that. Next up, we have Mr. Triceratops himself. His is pretty simple. Just take the tail, fold it in his body, and that's him. Next up, Sabretooth. Same as always, fold the tail in, fold the back feet forward so they click inside, and then fold the legs forward as if they were gliding across. And that's Sabretooth. For Pterodactyl, we're just going to bend her face down and take off the feet. So she's like sitting like that, and she'll kind of sit on Mastodon. For Mastodon, he's a little bit different. First, we're going to detach his head, like so, and put that aside. Then, we're going to open up his back like so. And then we're going to fold down the arms and keep the hooves facing forward. And we'll do that with both sides. Then we're going to crank them forward like so. And then attach the pterodactyl's feet to the hooves. Like that. So it's kind of looks like that. And that's that section. And then we're going to take Mastodon's head with us. Now, once they're all transformed, they're going to combine. So, first off, T-Rex rolls in and combines with Sabretooth on the left leg. And he just snaps into the hole. And then Triceratops does the same. So the hole right there and snaps in. Then Mastodon's arms will come into the back section here. They'll click in nicely. They'll fold forward. And then we're going to bend these guys a little bit so he's kind of looking down like that. So then they kind of got this guy going on. Then we're going to take Mastodon's head. There's a little lever back here. We're going to pull that out. And as you can see, there's a hole in his chest. And that goes there. So he's kind of got all the heads going on here. And last, we take Pterodactyl, and she just sits in between the legs of Mastodon. This one's a little tricky because there's actually no attachment. It's more so just sliding in and getting it right. So it kind of looks like that. So once that's all done, they look like this pretty much. They'll roll around, his arms will come up, and they'll shoot at whatever they're running to or driving towards. His eyes actually shoot lasers as well. There's stuff in there, but he never uses that to my knowledge. And that's how they kind of go about before they enter their warrior or battle mode. This mode is only used as a quick 1-2 punch, and then it transforms. It never really stays in this mode for more than half a second, due to the fact that its mobility is utter crap. So, once they've sent out a barrage, they'll transform into warrior mode. So, warrior mode is as follows. So first off, the Mastodon head is going to come off. And it's going to stay off. Then, the pterodactyl will fly away as well. Afterwards, they'll start to lift themselves by folding their backwards and folding out their feet forwards. So, to do that, we're going to take Sabretooth here, and she's going to not do the can-can, but fold flat. And then Triceratops is going to do the same. Then we're going to bend the legs all the way back, so he can stand upright. Then, these guns on his hands will come off. And we'll fold the fists forward. Fold the shoulder pads up to the point where they're arched. This tail will come down and it'll click in a joint. And then, after that, they stand up, and it's like a T-Rex standing up on its 2 feet. And then, the good part. So now that I've adjusted the camera so you can see what's actually going on, then the pterodactyl will fly in. This chest compartment will open, and the head will slide in. Pterodactyl will fold in like so. And just while the head is going down, she'll fly right onto the chest and click in like that. And then the piece de resistance, the hip horns come forward. Now, if you don't remember, we have these two little guns, which are the pterodactyl's feet. There's two holes here on the mastodon's feet, and those go in like that. And then he's kind of looks like he has little guns on his back. He never really uses them. I never seen him use them, but yeah. So that's the Megazord. Now, if you don't recall, we have Mastodon head kicking around. Well, luckily, the hole here in his hand can actually hold it like a shield. Like that. And if you don't recall, the Power Rangers can actually summon down a sword. And you actually do get this sword with the toy. ABS plastic, nice silver paint. Pretty flimsy, it does bend. And you've got a nice detail here. See if I can get it. There we go. You got this detail here in the hilt of the sword. And it's really nice. Alright, so when they call it down, it can slide right into the hand. And there you go. We've got ourselves Power Rangers Megazord. And that's pretty much the Megazord. I'd have to say I love this guy. He was definitely worth the $50 I cashed out for him. I love how much die-cast metal he has in him. I love how much he just comes together as a unit. And he's probably my fourth favorite Megazord. It might be just the nostalgia, the fact that it was the first Power Rangers I ever watched. But it's more than that. It's kind of like my childhood bodied up in this little toy. Believe it or not, I spent over 2 years looking for a toy that combined, be it Transformers or Megazord or Beetleborgs. When I finally found this, it was kind of like a light shot down, and it was like, buy this, this is what you're looking for, and here it is right in front of you. And I'm glad this was the one. I'm glad this was the toy that I got. It's not because it was the first, but it was because it meant the most to me. And for that, I give this toy 5 stars. A lot of things I loved about this toy, but there were some flaws. The fact that we had these stickers, you can see here, you had to apply them yourself. I didn't like that at all. I hate applying stickers, and I suck at it. I'm afraid that I'll ruin the toy because the sticker will screw up, and for that I am almost too afraid to actually put them on. I've had this toy for 3 weeks now, and I just put the stickers on yesterday. That's the one thing I don't really like about application of stickers. There's always that chance that you screw up, and then when you do, you can only blame yourself when you ruin your toy or when you ruin your model. I wasn't too happy about that. Luckily, I was able to get it done, but with utter relevance to the fact that it's putting on stickers. Either way, the one thing I had a gripe with was, yes, it was the sticker problem. Either way, I couldn't really handle this toy a lot due to the die-cast metal painting. If that thing even hits anything, even another Zord, it's gonna chip. But for the first Megazord to ever come out, its toy definitely did the trick for me. I hope you enjoyed watching this. This is Sai from Collection Gattai, and I hope you have a nice day.